Thank you, and I yield myself 5 minutes for questioning, and we can look directly at each other here in this line as I sit in for Chairman Arrington. You know, my staff, as well as I'm sure everybody's staff here, spends a lot of time developing these questions to understand more of the issue. So I'm the grandfather of 10. Okay, this year we'll have our first 2 college graduates of the grandchildren. It goes down to the age of soon to be 15. So I understand from Dr. Swagel from Wikipedia, of course we know if it's on Wikipedia it must be true, right? But I wanted to verify it here for the record that you have 3 children?
I do. I have 3 sons.
Okay, and what's their age range?
We have 26, or about to turn 26, 22, and 20.
Okay,
So
so
25,
let's assume, for the sake of discussion here, that this is not the hearing room, but it's the family dinner table, which for most children is painful because they're being interrogated by their parents and grandparents. You know, that's just the way it works. Life works in a good family. With all the data that we have passed back and forth between members asking questions and you providing answers, how would you explain at the family dinner table to your children, especially, let's say, maybe before they got to college, they were 17 or 18, but even today, what the problem is that we are dealing with here? How would you explain that to your children?
I would say there's a gap between what Americans want to and are willing to pay and what we expect.
How do you get them personally invested in solving problems and understanding their role potentially, but most importantly, if there is no change in what is happening here with the increasing debt, what the dire nature of the outcomes is going to be for them? Can you give me as a grandpa or anybody else here as a parent some phrases that we can help the next generations understand in their terms what we're dealing with here in this hearing room right now?
I would say the deficits we're running, the debt we're accumulating will undercut.
Give them an example. Give me an example that they can understand. I hear what you're saying, but can you give an example? If you spend more than you make, you run out of money if you're a family or an individual, right? And if you have debts already incurred, I mean, is there any examples we can use to help educate the next generations, the dire nature of where we are?
I would say it limits your choices. If you don't have the resources, it affects your future in a way that.
Do you think they'd understand?
I think they'd understand that we have to make choices.
Would they take action?
You know, that is the challenge.
How do you put them in a position where they feel that if they are not in a position to take action at that point, because they're not in a, either a legislative role or some kind of a leadership role or, appointed role, whatever, how do you build the confidence in them that those people that are currently in those roles are doing the right thing for the right reason?
It's, connecting these future choices to the situation.
How about action today?
Yeah, that's a challenge. I mean, education will help, that's for sure.
So when reality sets in, how will history, what will it write on your, epitaph, if you will, or my epitaph? Do you think it'll say, well, they didn't take action when they had the opportunity, or they gave it the best shot that they could at the time, and the results are what the results will be because good people didn't quit and they stayed focused on the issue at hand? We're here to talk about debt. We've talked about a lot of things in this hearing. Very few of them have been really focused on next steps and way ahead on the part of all of us here in this room, to include the folks, at CBO. That's the mutual challenge we all have. So I would ask all of us, especially, because you do an outstanding job of explaining the issue, but will the 22-year-old hear it? With that, I yield back.